cannot convince me that in my days and time there is a revival. There is nothing you can tell me. You cannot convince me that in our age we are only just dramatic. There is no. Do you know what a revival is? When we see righteousness at its peak over sin.
There's a revival in Guatemala, and I went there to see it for myself. And I was part of that revival in Almolonga. I crossed Mexico, then you fly way down a little bit, then you are in Guatemala. They speak Spanish. I don't understand Spanish. There was a man who came from Sweden to also look at the revival. I happen to have participated in genuine revivals. There is not much you are doing in this country that impressed me, because I have seen the first house. I lodged in Princess Hotel, which was very close to the airport. In Guatemala, their food was not edible for me. As missionaries, we have difficulty sometimes eating the native food of our field. I went to town. It's a third world country, just like us. But a revival came there. My host, Pastor Mariano, he told me that his father's brothel was the first to fold up in Guatemala. When revival came through the gospel, the preaching of the gospel, Calabaros, he was preaching on radio. Mariano was preaching on radio, and they were preaching the gospel. Nobody was talking about signs and wonders. They were talking about the gospel. Signs and wonders is not gospel. Pastor Mariano and Calabaros were my hosts in Guatemala. I asked him, I said, for 6 days I've been in this country, I've not seen a policeman. He said, police? There used to be plenty of policemen all around here, but when revival came, there's no more crime anywhere. All the beer parlors in this town have closed down. My father's beer parlor was the first one to close down. 23 beer parlors closed down in Almolonga. And all the prostitutes in Almolonga, check it on your phone. Check it on your phone. Google Almolonga transformation. It's a whole territory. The territory had 4 prisons. It's the cities, it's the crime center of South America. I was a missionary there. And when revival came to Almolonga, all the prostitutes in the town, they became deaconesses in different churches. They were not talking about signs and wonders in Almolonga. I was there. They were preaching the gospel. And when you serve your jail term and you get out, nobody come in. You serve your jail term, you get out, nobody come in. And then the prison became empty and became a church. 4 prisons in Almolonga and Guatemala area became empty, and nobody entered there again. There was no more crime anywhere. The 4 prisons became churches. Buy your ticket and follow me and let's go there. And it has remained like that. The prisons have remained empty in Almolonga for 25 years. Nobody has entered the place again. What are you telling me? I asked my host, I can't see policemen here for the past 6 days I've been in this country. He said there used to be a lot of policemen here, but when revival came into our land, crime disappeared from our streets, and policemen will resume for work till they close. Nobody brought any case, and they are now deploying the policemen to other sectors of the country's forces, the immigration and customs. Policemen are being retrenched in Almolonga because of no work. In our own case in this country, we are recruiting Mopo, we are recruiting army, we are recruiting more, because the more churches are spreading, the more crime is also spreading, and you are calling that revival. If I have not seen what I have seen, if I have not traveled the distance I have traveled, if I have not participated in what I participated in, God, I'm telling you there's revival in Nigeria. There is no revival here. I left the hotel and went to the streets. I saw a woman selling stuff by the roadside, and I asked to buy. At the airport, I had changed some of the dollar I have on me to their national currency. Their national currency is called Quartelis. When I finished buying what I wanted to buy, I asked the woman, how much do I pay? She told me how much I was going to pay. I did not understand Spanish. She did not understand English. 4 people who are passing by going to work. I stopped them dressed in suit. I said, could you please help me ask this woman how much am I supposed to pay? Then they would say, English? I said, English. I said, sorry, I don't speak English. 4 people. I decided to bring all the money in my pocket. Some of the money is Quartelis, and some of the money is dollar. And I gave them all out to her. And I asked her to choose whatever she thought is the price and give me the rest. She took a coin, another smaller coin, and did like this on the streets. If you try it in a church in Nigeria, go to all this camp in Lagos where you see crowd and so on. Go there to those people and bring the dollar in your pocket and all the naira and give it to the person selling, and ask her to pick whatever she wants. Whether she will not even tell you that the whole money is not enough. The biggest problem with us is that we have told ourselves lies. If people tell you lies, but when you tell yourself lie, you will be incurable. On the streets of Guatemala, the crime center of South America, Revival came to the streets. The market woman by the roadside had been influenced and affected by the revival that came into the country. I went to their farms, and that's where I saw the effect of revival. I saw onion, I saw tomato, almost as big as a Nigerian football. I saw carrot, nearly like Nigerian cassava. I bought one and brought it home as an evidence against my countrymen. And I asked the farmers, what fertilizer do you use here? They asked me, what is fertilizer? That they don't know about fertilizer. But that when revival came to Almolonga and in Guatemala, that a certain white substance was being washed down from the mountains, the pointed to the hill, and that maybe that is fertilizer. There is no place in Almolonga that you can see that is as flat as a football field. The whole place is rocks. Our aeroplane was hardly finding a place to land, but inside these rocks they grew their crops. And it's in Almolonga I knew what the Bible says, that if my people that are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray, and shall repent and confess, that he will heal their land. Almolonga used to be the place where they grow and export marijuana to the whole of North America. Today, the farmers in Almolonga, they buy trucks with cash. They don't use credit card. They buy trucks from North America with cash, and they pay cash from their tomatoes, from their onion, from their carrots. Their land began to respond to the gospel.